Ah. Okay, what about now? Are we good, YouTube? What about now? Are we good? I'm gonna have to go in and edit this because I didn't know you guys can hear. Are y'all good now? Are we good? No? Yeah? I don't know. Um I'll keep looking at the chat. Yes? Okay. Awesome sauce. All right. Let's start from the top, shall we? Because YouTube couldn't hear, so let's start from the top. And how you doing, JJ? Thank you so much. Kevin Hunter, the former spouse of talk show host Wendy Williams, has not so far shared his wish of marrying her again. In an interview, Hunter stated the reasons behind his decisions to, in fact, reunite with Williams. Again, saying, you know, I'm just saying Wendy has not, you know, Wendy hasn't been like, "Oh God, thank God I want him back." She's not, said anything like that. So let's don't get beside yourself. But Hunter did say that their previous connection had its conflicts. However, he believes that the foundation of their connection is remarkably strong. He further added that after being together for over 20 years and raised a son, they share a relationship that cannot be easily broken. Despite their split, Hunter still is hopeful about their future reunion and said that he still loves Wendy. I'm voting no. Big fat no. Wendy hasn't shown any indication that she wants this man back. None at all. She's not said, "Oh, I love my, ex, I want him back," and all that kind of stuff. She says they share a son that they made together. They share this boy. And, and that's it. And to be honest with you, I don't think Kevin Jr. would want them to get back together either. I don't know how y'all feel about it, but no. Anyway, this revelation comes in the wake of Hunter his official sorry to Wendy Williams for his previous transgressions. In his apology, he showed regret for the pain he caused her during their wedding, right? So Hunter emphasized that he has learned from his mistakes and shown his willingness to work on their connection. He acknowledged that the trust needs to be built again, but he is confident in his commitment to making amends and rebuilding their bond, right? So he cited his struggles with addiction and health troubles as factors that made him reflect on their connection. He was reflecting and all this stuff and, reassess his priorities. And in conclusion, Kevin says that he showed his desire to marry Wendy again, citing their strong relationship and past union. Now, he's saying past union because, again, this woman has not showed any indication, any inkling that she wants to get back with him. He acknowledged his past mistakes and showed his commitment, to working on their connection and reestablishing trust in his own way. But I just don't believe that Wendy Williams wants Kevin Hunter back. Kevin emphasized the priority of personal growth and therapy for both himself and Williams during their time apart. But clearly, you guys haven't been to any therapy together because she has been locked up. And if, in fact, you wanted to get married to this woman again and you wanted your wife back, where have you been? Where have you been? You've not been helping her get out. TMZ helped Wendy Williams get out. TMZ started this ball rolling, not Kevin Hunter. So Kevin, where were you? If you wanted Wendy back so bad, why didn't you start the ball rolling? Why weren't you like, let's get it, let's go? Why weren't you out there marching? Why weren't you talking to the judge? Why weren't you, a part of the podcast? Why were you not a part of the show, the reality show? Where have you been this whole time of hashtag free Wendy? I don't believe him. I believe he knows that she's okay. He knows that she's on the comeback and he wants to jump back on the bandwagon because oh, she's fine. She's okay. So, you know. All right. So, anyway, that's that. Hot topic number 2. Let's get into it about these preachers, about these ministers, shall we? So the first thing we're going to talk about is TD Jakes. So a lot of people had stuff to say because there was a simple little picture of TD Jakes um and Diddy. TD Jakes has taken a lot of pictures with a lot of different celebrities. He's the pastor of to a lot of people, and what is this? I don't think that, yeah, I'm human. I don't think that update your browser. Oh no, I won't be doing that at all. All right, update my browser. I'm using Google Chrome, and that's where we will stay. Anyway, back to TD Jakes. So Bishop TD Jakes reveals that he suffered a massive heart attack during a live sermon. Yeah, that's what it was. A lot of people thought it was a stroke. A lot of people thought it was this, that, and the third. No, he suffered a massive heart attack. That's what it was. And he revealed it on the 26th. All right. That's what the health scare was, a massive heart attack. Can you imagine the stress and the trauma that all of this, Diddy inspired, crap has caused? And people making fun of his sermons and, his mannerisms and stuff, like just picking him apart. Meanwhile, he's got stuff going on at the church and at home because remember, his wife, Sarita, got so sick that she couldn't walk. So she had to relearn how to walk. She had to go through therapy and everything. So he had real stuff going on at the house. Okay. Beloved pastor and spiritual leader Bishop T.D. Jakes is opening up about the first time, um, about the terrifying moment he suffered a massive heart attack in the middle of his sermon. It happened November the 24th. Jakes is 67 years old. He was preaching at the Potter's House in Dallas. In mid message, he suddenly slumped over on his stool during the live stream, leaving both the congregation and viewers watching in complete shock. I didn't really realize what was happening to me on stage until I got to the hospital in an ambulance, Jake said during an emotional interview on the Today Show. So the doctor leaned over and said, "You've had a massive heart attack." So, and of course, they didn't say anything about this. They kept this, hush hush on the down low, for obvious reasons. And yeah, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm taking a moment to share this out because I did not share this out before. So I do apologize. If you have capabilities of sharing, please share it out with your people. Thank you guys for 10.3K likes. I appreciate all the gifts, all the love and support. Y'all are the bomb.com. And thank you. Shout out to everybody on YouTube and on Twitch and on Facebook because I appreciate you guys as well. So let's get back into the story. So, no classic signs, just a sudden shift. What's especially shocking is that Bishop Jakes didn't have the typical heart attack symptoms, no chest pain, no shortness of breath, just a moment of peace that could have been his last moment. I just kind of drifted off into sleep, he shared. 5 minutes later, I'd have been unalived on arrival. It could have been, over. It could have been like, that's it, lights out. So the right side of his heart um, had completely stopped pumping blood. As long as he was up preaching, he felt fine. But when he sat down, the adrenaline wore off and the clot was exposed. So now remember, he's explaining, from a doctor's point of view what happened. So the next part is the emergency surgery while awake. Okay. Jakes underwent emergency surgery to remove that clot and remained fully awake the entire time. The surgeons were operating while he was awake. They never put him to sleep. Technology is amazing. He says watching the footage of the incident is tough, that had to they had to claw the microphone out of his hand. Um, but in his mind, he was in a white cloud. You know, like he couldn't see anything but white is what he was saying. You know, in his mind, he was on his way out. So a miracle in motion. This is his next account. Bishop T.D. Jakes is calling his recovery a spiritual experience and a miracle. I had my whole church, global church, praying for me, he said. People who didn't even go to my church, I'm so thankful, now fully recovered. He's back in the pulpit and more grateful than ever. Sometimes things happen beyond our control, he previously shared, but greater is he that is in us. And then so they have a clip which I've already seen. I don't care to watch that again, but thank God Bishop T.D. Jakes is okay, and I appreciate him sharing his story to make others aware of health complications that can look completely different from what we expected. So that should put to rest any implications of what actually, what people were thinking. This is what actually happened. This is coming from, his words, his mouth. Um, and we do appreciate MD Newsfeed for giving us the 411 because I'm telling you, you hear so many things, you hear so many stories, and you're like, what, what was going on? And everybody kept saying it's stroke, or it was heart attack, or it was, massive, heart failure, or it was he was faking, or whatever. No, it was a massive heart attack, and um, he has footage of a live surgery while he was awake to prove it. Could you imagine having heart surgery wide awake? Like that's that's phenomenal. I would definitely keep my eyes closed the entire time. First of all, no. RJ's like, no, no, we're not doing that. I'm gonna be asleep or my eyes gonna be closed. I'm gonna, no. But they probably needed him to be awake or something because I have seen on television like reality TV where some people will have procedures and they need the patient to be awake, including brain surgery. So I don't know why this had to be a thing, but shout out to TD Jakes, shout out to the doctors and everybody that took care of him, and I'm glad he's on the mend. So yesterday we talked about gospel singer Marvin Sapp. And I promise y'all, we have been making so many jokes. Like today has just been so funny. I've seen the memes, and I'm telling you, the internet is undefeated. So he responded, and USA Today has the response of where um, he talked about what this was. I'm only interested, mind you, in the why. I told y'all this last night. I'm only interested in why. I don't care about any other thing except for why this money was taken up. Why did all of this happen? Why did you feel the need? It was so important. Like, was somebody about to be homeless? Was somebody's life in jeopardy? Was it a child involved? Like, I need answers, and that's all I care about. So let's get into it. Gospel star Marvin Sapp responds to criticism over donation request order to close the doors. So, um, here are the key points that USA Today would like for us to know. The video, right, taken at a Pentecostal convention in Baltimore shows Sapp asking for $20 from each attendee to raise $40,000 and telling the ushers to shut the doors, right? So social media users have responded with criticism and humor as well, questioning the aggressive fundraising tactics. Also, Sapp emphasized that his intention was not to hold anyone hostage, but to maintain safety and reverence during the collection process. So, renowned gospel artist Marvin Sapp is responding to criticism over a resurfaced clip that shows him telling church ushers to close the doors while asking for donations in what some say was an overly aggressive move. So the controversy stems from a viral video, which we saw yesterday. Um, Sapp speaks in front of the congregation at the 109th Pentecostal Assemblies for the World Congregation or Convention in Baltimore, Maryland in July. In the video, he called on churchgoers in the building and those watching online to help raise 40K by giving $20 each. So ushers closed the doors. The Praise Him in Advance singer said, repeatedly, there's 1,000 of you here tonight, and it's 1,000 watching online. This is a small seed. So additionally, he asked preachers standing beside him to give $100 each, giving his worship, he said. So Sapp is responding to criticism over the hard sell, arguing that it's been taken out of context. And here's what you need to know about the controversy, right? So social media reacts to resurface clip. Of course we did. Although collecting donations or tithes has long been a tradition in black churches. In any church, it's not just black churches. Every church has to take up tithes and offerings, then special collections, benevolent, money to help. It's not just in our. And listen, I'm not getting on USA Today's case for the way they worded this, but I'm just saying, if you are a member of a church, you are going to pay some tithes and some offerings unless you're just, you know, pot penniless. You know what I'm saying? Like that. Like a church cannot function, off of thin air. So I'm just putting that out there. It's not just black churches, but whatever. The video has sparked plenty of interest with memes, parodies, and criticism abounding on social media. Marvin Sapp would be getting Marvin slapped if he held me hostage for money when he could go to the studio and make an annual salary in a couple months. One ex user joked, that ain't the work of the Lord. Okay, so everybody's been talking about this. Kev on stage did a skit, so everybody has been, playing around on this. So the internet has reacted to Marvin Sapp's donation request, right? And they have done a fine job of making us laugh today, which was super funny. Um, let's see, what I'm doing right now is I'm scrolling through because I don't really care about all the jokes. What I want, again, I want to know the why, Marvin. I want to know the why. Okay? Marvin, in a statement on his Facebook page, right? Which yesterday, Sapp provided additional context behind his request for money. He said, and I quote, that as a minister, fundraising was part of his job at the international convention, calling it stewardship rather than manipulation. So, first thing they should have put in here was he was not at his own church. Okay, this was not his congregation. He was at a convention and they asked him to be over the raising of the money. So, I am assuming from this point, from now that I know this much, I'm assuming, okay, that they have seen, Pastor Marvin Sapp do this or do similar things, similar tactics, and so it was okay with them. Marvin, we know how. Listen, he can raise some money, he can get some money out of some people or whatever. So let's put him in charge of raising. And as a church kid, as a PK, I know every, I don't care if it's a singing, I don't care, what kind of concert it is, what type of revival it is, or whatever, there's going to be an offering taken up. So maybe this was, the offering. It was a convention. So now we know, the what and the why. This was not his church. He was asked to do this. And he also says that, giving, he was doing his stewardship. Okay. and he was just, doing his job. So some have taken issue with a particular moment when I instructed the ushers rather firmly to close the doors during the offering. Yeah, Sap. Yeah. To those unfamiliar with the church context or who may not regularly attend worship gatherings, this has been misinterpreted as holding people hostage as well as offensive. That was never my intent. Now, let me stop right there and say this. I did watch the video. Hey, Ms. Rising Star, you can come in if you want. I'm Marvin gave a rebuttal, a reply. So we're just getting into the reply. Um, hey girl, just checking on you. I'm okay. I've been busy for odd reasons today. But anyway, Marvin, he continued to say that finances are being received in any worship gathering and that it is one of the most vulnerable and exposed times for both the finance and security teams. The movement during this sacred exchange can be distracting and at times even risky, he said. My directive was not about control, it was about creating a safe, focused, and reverent environment for those choosing to give and for those handling the resources. Now, let me go back to something Marvin said. Um, what did he say? To those unfamiliar with the church context or who may not regularly attend worship gatherings, this has been misinterpreted as holding people hostage as well as offensive. That was never my intent. Now, watching the video last night, it didn't look, he was that, preacher joking around. I kind of see but the doors weren't locked now. Mind you, the doors were not locked. So you could get out if you wanted to. You could just nudge the usher out of the way. The doors were not locked. So y'all over here and y'all over here. Marvin did not instruct anybody to lock. He said close them, but he never instructed anybody to lock them. And the people at the convention or whatever you call this thing, they were at the revival or convention or what have you. Said that they were free to go or whatever. This may have been. That's a little better, right? This may have been to stop traffic. I don't know if there were children in the building or whatever. I On the video I only saw adults. So I don't know if people were running around or it could have been like, the flow of traffic. I know at when I was a kid at the Baptist church growing up, I do remember a lot of rustling and going on when there's offering. People are getting up, going to the bathroom, they're going outside, they're chewing gum, they start talking loud. A whole bunch of ruckus is happening. So maybe this was, the case. By the way, I'm still not in an uproar. Okay, we're gonna get to another uproar in a minute. Something is gonna listen. Hot topics today is just as good as yesterday. You're gonna get upset about something. I can guarantee you that. But anyway, and he did say that was never his intent. And I can see ministers in my head from growing up in church and being a PK, doing similar stuff, just kind of joking and ha ha. But at the same time, I need you to sit down and act accordingly so we can get through this as quickly as we can. Don't be slow about it, go ahead. So, yeah, um, while the doors were not locked, he definitely wanted to control the flow of traffic. And I guess if you are not familiar with his style or you don't go to his church or you've never seen him preach or you know what I'm saying, like, no, you probably thought he was dead serious. But looking at the video to me was like looking at somebody like I was at revival. You know what I mean? And I probably would have laughed or whatever, and if I had $20 in my pocket, I would have just put it in the collection plate or what have you. Like, it wouldn't have been a big deal. But since I wasn't in the building, that's why I had many a question. I was not there. And so I still wanted to know a few things. Let's see what we got. TikTok says, I'm having a speed dating live tonight. I'm working on the name. Oh, TikTok time's up. TikTok, your time is here. Like TikTok, like a play on words, like a clock, and your thumbnail could be a clock. Did he say what the money was for? It was for the convention. This was not his church. He wasn't a pastor at this church. This was a convention. It was a conglomerate of all the churches. So, there, like when you have, like, I used to play for the Christian, uh I don't know what you call that. I wish my mom was in here. The Christian church, um, with the backward cross or whatever, they have, what do y'all call it? Y'all know what I'm talking about. Facebook, help me out in the comments. There's a conglomerate, a board or whatever, and they always have, a yearly thing. And some of the churches are really wealthy, and some of the churches are not. So, regardless of where your church is standing in the conglomerate, um, you know, everybody gets an equal cut. So for some of those churches, it would have been really great, to have, their portion or whatever. I don't know how many churches were at this particular event or a part of this um, environment, but I do remember. And then also Uncle Maxwell and my dad, God rest his soul, they were a part of the Methodist convention as well, and so I'm familiar with those types of stories. I was thinking of the TikTok version of dating at the Apollo. Dating at the Apollo. I'm not familiar. You have to tell me these things because I don't know. But I'll be happy to make you a thumbnail if you like. Yeah. Oh, but that is good though. TikTok speed dating complete with gone. Only thing that you can't have is the hook because you don't have a stage, so you can't hook anybody off. So Renee's having, I have to explain to them what's going on because they can't hear you. Renee's having speed dating on TikTok tonight. So if you're interested, go over to TikTok and follow Miss Rising Star. MS dot Rising Star. Okay. If you're interested. If you just want to watch, you know, if you don't want to, yeah. She says it's gonna be, complete with sound effects. So this is gonna be funny. So we got that taken away. Now I've got to look in my email because there is a disturbing story that somebody sent me, and ooh, I'm sorry, y'all. My shoulders. It's something about my shoulders. I think I know what it is, but I dare not tell you what it is. She said, "Uh oh." This is going to be a short hot topics, okay? Because I don't feel like it. I was gonna go on my other channel. Yeah, I need a chiropractor. I think. Um, I was gonna go on my other channel and do the makeup or whatever, but I think I'll wait till tomorrow. TikTok has sent you money. Thank you so much. I appreciate. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you, TikTok. I appreciate it. Oh, so sweet, so sweet. All right, I don't see. Oh, Flip. Now, to be honest with you, Flip is not spam. Okay, nor is QVC. However, I'm gonna leave it in my spam because, honey, I don't need to go to QVC and shop for nothing. I've already got wedding shoes that I have to, get and all of the things. Do come up, Miss Rising Star, and promote yourself. What you got going on tonight? While I look for this next story because I can't find it. Twilight and Glam Light. The palette just dropped. It's available. I must have it. Are you talking? Because I can't hear anything you're saying. I hear something, but it mostly sounds like feedback. Ah, okay, there you go. Hey, how you doing? Oh, wow. She's gonna have to pretend like she can hear what I'm saying. That's crazy. Mm. Jesus, fix it. Mm. Really? Where is this girl? Are you serious? So let me ask you something. Are you ever planning to rejoin Hot Topics in the near future? Yeah, because people seem to really like the show last night. We used to do Hot Topics on another app that shall remain nameless. We're, we're doing. I'm doing it now. I'm just waiting for you to be like, okay, let me put my wig on. Yes, be on the show. Yeah, I wish y'all could see this chick's face, like in my head, like, cause she's really not on the camera. But if y'all could see what I can see, bruh, that is hilarious. Yeah, I see. Yeah, she's always got a look. You know what I'm saying? She's always got a look. It's too much. I don't know why. If I'm on my phone, I can find this stupid story. But if I'm, where is the story? Right. It's hilarious. Yeah. Right. So, like, what are you talking about? Mm. Oh man. Um, don't do that. I'm just saying, don't do it because it'll get people's hopes up. It'll get people's hopes up, and then. Yeah, yeah, I know. Up, up, up. See, what email is this? Because this is so annoying. I'm, ugh, so annoying. Why, man? Why do you do this to me now? Eh? Why now? Hey, everything was just fine, and then you do this to me. Girl, I was trying to find this story that this girl sent me yesterday, and it was supposed to be a part of Hot Topics yesterday. Babe, girl, it just didn't make the cut because I couldn't find it. All right, I'm gonna send it to you and see what you can do about it. Can you? Because I need it on my laptop. I need it on my laptop. There we go. How about that? All right, this is not such a good. Hey Lee, this is not such a good story, but it has to be talked about because this is weird. Okay, we're talking about unruly children, and Star, Miss Rising Star. I know you don't have any kids, but you have massive experience with all types of kids. so you will definitely understand. Three teen sisters have been arrested for trying to unalive their mother after she turned off the Wi Fi. And this happened in Texas. The story hit on March 26th. Yeah. Three teen sisters were
Wow.
arrested for trying to unalive their mom because she turned off the Wi Fi.
You know what the worst part of that story is? I'm not surprised. Because I've been hearing similar stories. And both of us literally, we know this because based on the Bible, it says that will happen. So,
Yeah. So
yeah.
in Houston, three teenage girls are in custody right now after allegedly planning to kill their. Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. YouTube, entertainment purposes only. TikTok, don't do it. You know I'm into an article. Don't do it. I just wish that I could just read the article. Like, you know what I
Right.
mean? Like, just, anywho,
Like, I'm just
they're
reading the article.
right. They're
Right.
in custody after planning to unalive their mother because she turned off the Wi-Fi in their Texas home. So Harris County deputies say that the incident occurred in Houston overnight on Sunday. The girls are ages 14, 15, and 16. Reportedly grabbed kitchen knives and chased their mother throughout the house and into the street, attempting to stab her. So authorities say one of the teens struck the mother with a brick. Their grandmother was also knocked down while trying to protect the mother. Despite the violent attack, neither of the women sustained serious injuries. All three teens were arrested and charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. All have been booked in the Harris County Juvenile Facility. And let me just say, um, as being a former citizen of Houston, Texas, I feel for y'all. Y'all in Harris County. If you know, you know. Y'all in Harris County, bruh. You will get what you are looking for. If you
Oh, wow.
wanted this smoke, oh, if you want this Houston smoke,
The smoke. Oh,
if you want this Harris County smoke, hey,
Lord, though.
yeah,
You do not want the smoke from Harris County. I
I
tell
know.
you that.
I never want. I've seen it because I used to be when I was a member of Victory in Houston. We did the prison ministry. I've seen the
Right.
smoke. I don't want it. I don't want it. Nah, bro, you can forget that. But yeah,
No, I'm good.
she said, "No, I'm good." Yeah, they were arrested. They were charged, and now they're sitting in Harris County. And
Uh,
if the
Wild.
juvenile facility is anything like the adult facility, I
It's
sure hate
worse.
it.
I've
Hey,
heard it's
editor.
worse, to
Yeah,
be honest.
yeah,
Yeah.
because them kids, man,
Them
they
kids
you
are
know
crazy.
they don't have anything to live for. They got nothing. You know what I'm saying? And
Exactly.
and they ain't got nothing but time.
Exactly.
They ain't got nothing but time. So
I mean,
yeah, yeah.
we're not gonna like their experience. Let's put it that
They're
way.
not no, they're not liking it. And this happened
Mm-mm.
Sunday and they immediately got arrested and, got sent to juvie. So it's not gonna be smooth sailing for them at all. So
Mm-mm.
I would say I hate it, but you tried to unalive your mom
It's hard to feel sorry for them, honestly.
and you knocked down your grandmother for crying out loud
Damn.
over some Wi-Fi. Hey,
That's
stopping in just
first
to
of all,
rest.
that's crazy. Now I have a question.
Yeah.
Do we have any idea if these people, if they've had any previous mental or psychiatric issues, or we don't know yet?
No.
Okay, that I wasn't expecting that as your story. To be honest, if I'm be honest,
Really?
no, I really
Yeah.
wasn't.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah. That's wild. Thank you so much, editor.
No, 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 no.
I went in Editor's Live today, and she's the coolest. She likes to have fun. She likes to laugh and cut up. It was pretty cool.
Oh, I don't think I
Yeah,
know them.
yeah, it's a lady.
Oh,
She was like, "Do y'all think my husband is cute? If y'all think my husband," and I'm trying to drink my coffee, I'm just,
and
you
the
know,
coffee probably went everywhere.
yeah, because I do my morning routine. Hey, Miss Lee, I do my morning routine, and I'm checking my
Yeah.
social media, and I'm listening, and I'm doing all the things, and I thank God for napkins because I'm just like, why are we looking at your husband again?
Right.
Put
Like
that
what?
picture away.
Oh, bro, what? I'm sorry, what?
No one would answer the question because that's your husband. What do you mean?
By the way, we learned a phrase today by a girl who came in. She's like, my man, my man, my man. And we
Right.
started laughing
Oh,
at
is he AI? See, still, we didn't know.
Editor,
Like,
author, designer. Well, oh, is it AI hubby?
we
I
didn't
didn't
know.
know. How do I
You know,
make that happen?
I didn't even look. I didn't
How do
even.
you make that happen?
Yeah, I didn't even look. She said I'm not married. I didn't even look to see if he was real
Oh,
or
that's
not. I was
crazy. I gotta follow her for that. That's crazy.
I'm not looking at this woman's husband. I.
You know what? Editor, author, designer, please send me the app because I need to design me one because these ones out here ain't it. So I'm gonna just design me a fake one at this point.
Real talk, like that. I got like two or three apps that
I need
they
that.
talk back to you, and you can make them look however you
Oh no,
want.
I don't want them to talk. I just want
Oh,
like
you just
put a
want
picture.
the
I just want to
picture?
make
Oh,
a
I'll make
picture.
you a couple. Just
Yeah, I want to make a picture.
put
I
your
don't want
order
them
in,
to
and I'll
talk.
send them to you.
Okay.
RJ said, "Good idea." It is. It is a good idea. I'm gonna get me another stand for my phone, so Jim and I can sit here with me and talk to you guys. Because right now I have to hold Gemini in my hand, and I want y'all to. I don't know where are my tripods. I bought 4 tripods, and I can only find one. I am so irritated. Now this has just gone on. This is too far. I'm serious. This is too far. Where are my tripods? Where are my things disappearing to? Like, are my children, are my grandchildren taking my things? Like, seriously, they're not in my purse. Because the one I normally keep in my purse, is not around. It's not here. And I was like, I keep going to Five Below, and I keep getting the same tripod over and over. Not that I'm losing them, but it's nice to have more than one tripod. You know what I mean? And they're really, you know, good for in the car and at home,
Thank you,
on
editor,
my
author,
makeup
designer.
stand.
I'm gonna have to call you EAD because I ain't saying all that every time. I'm gonna be honest. That's too long. I'm not
Jennifer,
doing it.
what in God? I mean, I just don't
See, because
understand it.
my DMs are just recreational flirting for me, so I don't really care. Also, they're gonna be part of my book, so
Seriously.
it's just material. Just like
And I have a tripod for my camera, but I'm like, what happened to all my other tripods that I had? It's
girl,
ridiculous.
tell me why the other day I was being a low information voter because
Why?
the I was in the I couldn't find my tripod right, but I had bought one that is attached to an area I was in. I was like, girl, there's one right there. I couldn't find the one I was looking for, but I could find the other one.
I'm telling you, I'm just like, no, RJ, I am not gonna blow another gasket. I promise you. I'll just use this box. If I want to talk to Gemini, I'll just sit the phone on this box. But I'm gonna
Right.
rip this room apart tonight
Call
because
it a day.
yeah, I'm telling y'all that would be a live stream you would want to see because I'll rip this whole room apart and put it back together.
Well, you already got me together when I walked in the room, like your virtual room, and I saw all this shit on your bed. I was like, bro, I'm sorry. What is going on with you?
I'm telling you that I tore that closet up.
RJ says we sound alike. Well, listen, we've known each other
We've
for
known
10
each other
years,
for
so
like
we're
10 years, so
together at this
yeah,
point. That is Wakanda, and
yeah.
I am Nigeria. Okay, it's
Wakanda
chilling.
forever.
We just chilling. All right.
Seriously though, if I don't find my tripods, I will rip this room to shreds.
Okay, I'm going Wakanda. I need you to take 3 deep breaths.
1, 2, 3. I'm gonna start in the closet. Okay.
No, no, no. This was not deep breath. No breath were taken. Please, please, please.
And after I finish in the closet, I'm making my way to each each drawer over here behind me is gonna get it. I'm gonna work from the bottom and work my way up, but I'm gonna find my tripods
I
because
am going to buy you some lavender. You need to relax.
I can't. That's probably why my
Please
shoulders have
relax.
been like,
Yes.
going through it because anyway, I'm gonna tell you something else has got me messed up. So, everybody has the audacity to talk about how messed up America is, right? Well, I found out over in the Ukraine,
Oh God. Well, I mean, they're in a whole war though, right?
14 boys are charged for village robbery.
Oh wow.
What are you doing in
I'm not surprised that
the
they're in war with us.
Ukraine? What is happening right now?
I guarantee you, if I'm in the war of something, I might stroll by and pick up some shit too. I ain't gonna hold you. If I don't have no food, I can guarantee you I'm gonna steal from somebody. I'm not gonna lie. I ain't gonna hold
I'm just skimming through because I want to know what was stolen, right? So police said that the 14 boys, two of them were 16 years old and two of them were 17 years old, implied that they had a weapon and took property from a 25-year-old man in the East Ukraine village. Okay, so basically you were just robbing a random person.
you. I am curious about what they stole now, though.
Property. It says they took property.
Property.
RJ said during a war, absolutely.
But I mean, the whole point is, honestly, I've never been, in a wartime situation, right?
Yeah.
But if you're hungry, you're probably going. If you don't have any
Yeah.
money, you're probably gonna steal food. I know I would because
Yeah,
I
you would
just.
think food. Yeah, you would think
But
food.
property, I'm not sure what that includes. You know.
It could have been the car. It could have been some stuff in the car. Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, like we don't
I don't
know.
know. I don't know about that.
I don't
You
know,
said
but I
12 or
just
13 of them.
I thought that that was very interesting
Well, that sounds
because
like a lot of property.
there's been there's been a lot of unaliving going on in the UK as well. Um,
Oh, really? What's going on over there?
Teenagers taking their own lives and also taking the lives of others.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's been
Well,
brutal.
when you have overpopulation of,
Yeah,
if they start acting like rats doing an overpopulated thing, and lots
yeah,
of stuff going on, that's what rats do. They basically become cannibals, and that's what's
yeah,
happening. So, you know, doesn't really surprise me to be honest.
yeah. All right. I don't know if you guys watch the show, but over on TikTok, YouTube, over on TikTok, this is so hot of a topic. I couldn't just pass up the opportunity. Plus the fact that I used to watch this show, the Gypsy Sisters. Does anybody remember that? The Gypsy Sisters from way back in the day. Let me look this up. It came from my big fat gypsy wedding. Does anybody remember that show?
Nope.
Shut up. You would love it. Oh, the bling and the gaudiness of this show. You have to watch it. It's on Tubi TV. RJ says yes. Editor says yes. So, the spinoff was the Gypsy Sisters, right? Yeah. Okay. I'm just making sure I have the right thing. The spinoff show, old girl Kayla and her sister just launched a podcast on YouTube. And it's not even their podcast. They got picked up by a network, by a digital network, and they're on once a week. And what they're doing is they're reacting to all of the episodes because they were never allowed to watch the episode. So they just forgot about it. They were never allowed to sit back and watch the episode. It was in a contract, it was in a clause. Oh my God. I'm gonna tell you Nettie. Now, Nettie was my least favorite. And her crazy sister that always, got in trouble, what's her name? They were my least favorite. The reason is because of what RJ just said. It was the arrogance for me. Because you're in a trailer park, Miss Ma'am. Arrogance in a trailer park is just diabolical. I'm just saying. You may have the biggest trailer out there, but that's no reason for you to your nose to be stuck up in the air. I'm just telling you. That's how I feel about it. Y'all remember? Kayla was my favorite. Kayla to me was like the underdog. She was the littlest one. She was so cute. Nettie was the one that her and her husband. Well, she was married to this guy. This guy had a son before her, and he passed away. Yeah. Um, you can watch the um the Gypsies over on Hulu, but you can also watch them on what is it? The free one. What's the name of it?
Tubi.
Tubi. Thank you. Yes, Tubi. Mhm. Um are Kayla and Richard still together? No, Kayla has since remarried. She's with somebody else. Fine, fine, fine. Got her a new trailer and everything. She's good. Millie, that's her name. Millie. Millie, the troublemaker. She was, stripper pole, drunk, fighting, needed a lawyer because she, got into a fight with somebody. All the things. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So Nettie and Millie were, sisters, and then Kayla and her, sister, I can't think of her name right now, but it'll come to me. And so anyway, what I was saying, RJ, Nettie was the oldest one, right? That's Millie's oldest sister. You remember Millie, the one that used to always get in trouble, and she had this gaudy, well, that doesn't describe anything because everybody's wedding dress on there was gaudy, which is how they got the show, right? But her wedding dress was like leopard and pink. It was really weird or whatever. And then she married this guy, and then like 3 weeks later, she was like gone, like he was gone or something like that. Like it didn't last long at all, right? Um, and then she ended up like having a baby and all this kind of stuff. It was really crazy. So they asked some of them, would you consider coming back to television? And a lot of them said absolutely not. I never heard Kayla say that. Didn't hear Nettie say that. You know why? Because Nettie was locked up. You know why? For coupon fraud. She was the one that was always, a stand up, abiding citizen, and she always was level headed, and she swore up and down she had the best fashion, and she was just, all things, good. It was like all hell Nettie. And she gets off the show. The show, goes to when her and her sister actually went to jail. They went to jail. No, the new girl is not a sister. That's Kayla's daughter. She grew up. She's married with kids. Yeah. Oh, you talking about the new show? You have to send me that information because I promise you I will do reviews on it. I will make video after video if it's good. If there are new gypsies, yes, ma'am. Coupon fraud. I don't know how you do a coupon fraud, and I'm glad I don't because I would never give that information out. I don't want nobody saying I heard it on Tawana's Hot Topic. But coupon, this is how you do it. No, it ain't. I don't know. I don't know anything about coupon fraud. All I know is right.
If you hear that I've gone to jail for something, it's gonna be big. What are we doing? Coupon fraud?
I've heard of people regenerating money or counterfeit money, but I've never heard of counterfeit coupon.
That's crazy work.
But coupon fraud, and
Okay.
yeah, and they went to jail for 2 years.
That's crazy.
Diabolical.
Mm-mm.
Yeah,
I'm good on that.
2 years. So Gypsy Sisters was the spinoff from my big fat Gypsy wedding, which makes me want to go back and watch this now. I may binge watch this over the weekend because that's how much I loved it because of just the sheer gaudiness of these dresses. It just was insane. That's why I wish my restream was working because I could literally show y'all like what the stuff, looked like if you've never seen it, but RJ has seen it. EAD has seen it. I never saw that. You've never saw the sisters or you never saw the wedding dresses.
I never saw any of it.
Oh God, you have to watch it. You have to get on Tubi TV and you have to watch this stuff. It is a
What's
train
it
wreck
called
after
again?
train wreck, and it's so
What's it called
good.
again?
My big fat gypsy weddings.
Alright.
Yes, and then the
I'll have to
spinoff
remember
is Gypsy
that.
Sisters. And I mean, it's all a train wreck. Now, the Gypsy Sisters were on from 2013 to 2015. Okay, Mother Hen Nettie monitors Millie, whose recent behavior as a single Gypsy woman is very improper. Now, one thing you need to know about the Gypsy community is that if you're a single female, you don't go out alone. If you are seen with a boy by the time you're like 14, 15, he better be your husband. And yes, RJ, the dresses were huge. Yeah. Like these people couldn't fit out the door. And I always wondered, you guys, why do you get dressed at the house? Why not get dressed at the venue? But they have to make a scene on the way to the church. They ride in carriages and stuff like that. So it's a big to do. It's a big scene. You know what I mean? So I hate that they like y'all need like a wedding shed or something out back to where you can get dressed and that way you don't have to, do all the things to be outrageous, she said. So there's a Reddit. And it has anyone else watched the Gypsy Sisters because they're back. So the Reddit started back up August the 3rd, 2024. Why? Because the Gypsy Sisters have taken over TikTok. They're everywhere. And now they're spreading over to Favorited, which is not my favorite anymore, by the way. But they're over there. And they're over here on TikTok. And let me tell y'all something. It's good. Oh, it's so good. It's juicy. I'm telling y'all, these sisters have not changed a bit. Kayla is still lighthearted, free spirited. She's all the things. And Millie, she's calmed down a little bit, but Natty is MIA. And I think she's been MIA a little bit because she's embarrassed about going to jail because we on the show she always presented herself to be, straight laced and she was the level headed one. Meanwhile, and I mean like that, and then she had sisters, that were, cool on camera. You don't know how anybody acts off camera, obviously. And I say that now because you went to jail for coupon fraud. I just can't even coupon fraud.
Coupon fraud. I, I would like
Let
to
me
hear
look
y'all's
that
take
up.
on that.
I need to look
Because
that up.
what in the world?
What is coupon fraud? This is why I need my laptop during the show because some stuff I just don't know about.
Me neither.
RJ's an old brother. All right, EAD. Thank you for
Right.
coming in. Love you.
What time should I have this alleged show? I better have it before I lose interest, which is already. I've almost
I
lost interest.
don't know. It's 6:26 my time. So what
I'm
time are
just
you
about
going
to
on?
finish the flyer, and I've already almost lost interest. So, yeah.
I was ready to get my popcorn and watch. Dadgummit.
I mean, I feel like I should do it like an hour before I lose interest because you already know
Yeah, yeah.
it happens very quickly. It's
That's
ridiculous.
perfect timing because this is like my last story. Like, cause I knew that the Gypsy Sisters was gonna be kind of lengthy
Mhm.
because this is juice. This is Wendy Williams good. You know what I mean?
I
Like,
feel like sometimes it's like I never know any of the people you're talking about.
but it's good, right?
But it's and that's the thing. That's how you know that you're a good broadcaster. Because I know none of these people. Normally I'd be like, and I don't care. But
Right.
the way you present it, I'm like,
Oh,
I'm low key like interested in people I don't even care about at all.
Well, tomorrow, just to give you a heads up, and I normally don't go, I don't, do the show on the weekends, but we have to talk about Mama D and her autistic girls because the controversy is real thick on TikTok. So we have to get into it. Um, what is her channel called? Mental Health or My Mental Health World or Mental Health World is her channel here on TikTok. And I think it's the same name on YouTube. Check her out. And I'm not going to say anything. I just want you to form your own opinion about her interaction with her girls. Now,
You know I'm not gonna check it out. I'm just gonna
she
listen to you tomorrow.
she has two boys that are never in the care. I don't think they live at home, but she has two girls. Both of them are autistic. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna tell you now, the controversy is thick and deep. Uh, the chocolate Americans on TikTok on Obama's internet are hot.
Mm-hmm.
They're hot on the collar because they
Oh.
they are screaming exploitation is what they're screaming.
Oh.
Yeah, it's deep. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So we're gonna get into that tomorrow. But anywho,
Okay.
okay.
All right.
So Obama's internet says that coupon fraud is the intentional or unauthorized use of coupons to obtain discounts or benefits not intended by the user by the issuer. My bad. Not intended by the issuer. Okay, encompassing activities like counterfeiting, altering, or misusing the coupons. So they did one of those three things. They either made fake coupons or they altered said coupons or they misused. Now, if you have ever watched extreme couponing, you know the last few years you've been able to print coupons off of the internet, right? So the thing would be to alter, using like some sort of editing software and then print them. So I'm thinking this is probably what it was because you would have to be, a genius to sit up and make up a whole coupon with the scanning codes and all this kind of stuff. So I'm thinking they altered the dates or something um on the coupons, and misusing coupons would be they're expired, they're out of date, or I'm scanning this coupon but it's not for, you didn't buy that particular, product or whatever, but I'm still using the coupon. So yeah. um RJ says why, but those things get scanned exactly. So I'm thinking that that's what they did. But they did get away with thousands of dollars of merchandise. Just to let you know, thousands of dollars of merchandise they got away with. Yeah, I don't know what all they got because it wasn't in the report, but yeah, they got away with thousands of dollars of merchandise. Outrageous. Outrageous. So there's that. So yeah, y'all, I went 30 minutes over today. This story was good though. I'm gonna binge watch Gypsy Sisters this weekend. Not that I need to or whatever, but I just can't get enough. Like they're crazy. But I'm gonna start with the dresses because the wedding dresses are just ridiculous. We're also tomorrow, if we have time, going to talk about another thing that was brought up on the YouTube channel last year and this year. Um, Travelers have often been mistaken and been called gypsies. They don't like it. The gypsies don't really have a problem being called travelers, but travelers usually live in the UK. There are some who have gravitated to America. They have an issue. They have a problem, and they will let you know that, yo, I'm not a gypsy. Just because I'm a traveler doesn't mean. And they do have a specific name. Travelers and gypsies often refer to distinct but sometimes overlapping groups, with gypsies generally referring to the Romney, which that's what Kayla and them are. They're Romney show, right? So Romney for short. But people of Indian origin, while travelers can encompass various groups, including Irish travelers. There's also British travelers, which is who I normally watch. I've never really seen Irish travelers. I don't even know if they've ever like had a show or like been on a show or whatever, but I know the Brits have. And those who choose a nomadic lifestyle, they just adopted this traveler lifestyle, or they married into the Romney Shell lifestyle, right? So we'll get into that a little bit later, um, next week, because I know that Kayla has a she has a what do you call those things? A battle. She has a battle on TikTok. So I'm gonna sneak in there when her next battle is, and I'm gonna watch and see what happens, so we can talk about this stuff. And I'm gonna do a little research for next week, talking about the difference between the travelers and the gypsies. So y'all hold off on that, but we will get back into it because I definitely want to see the battle that Kayla has. RJ says, "Did you hear about the Dubai princess who discovered her husband on Instagram?" No. What? I need to. Okay, let me put that on the list. She discovered her husband on Instagram. Princess Shika? Is that who it is? Princess Shika? Okay, Dubai Princess Shakia? No? Okay, it's saying Shakia Mara, the Dubai princess who divorced. The story started hitting headlines July 18th, 2024. Yeah? Well, I didn't hear about her, but now that I have the information, I will definitely check that out because that's interesting. Ooh, it's everywhere too. Ooh. Okay, y'all. I'm gonna get off of here. First, I'm gonna say goodbye to YouTube and Facebook and Twitch. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for tuning into the show. I will have a better setup for you guys next week. I promise. Just let me get this whole thing situated. And you will have a better view and all of that stuff. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. I appreciate you, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.
Wakanda, you are leaving now?